Do you want to unlock a flood of real estate deals for free? Start by building relationships with real estate agents. They're the gatekeepers to the opportunities you are looking for. In this video, you will learn how to work with real estate agents using extreme leverage. My name is Curtis Vaughn, and I help entrepreneurs and intentional families break free from the grind and build lasting wealth through real estate. Join me as I pull back the curtain on how to create a 3-in-1 real estate system that exponentially elevates your income, assets, and decreases your taxes for good. You can join my free masterclass by clicking the link below. Now, there are 5 major methods for reaching out and finding deals in real estate. Number 1, this one is not my particular favorite, is driving for dollars. When you literally get in your car and go on a drive and hit whatever neighborhood you're interested in. And what you're looking for is particularly like houses that are in distress of some sort. If you see a car on blocks, it might be a house that's in distress. If you see grass that's growing a little bit too high, unusually high grass, or you see the roof has got, paint coming off of it, or there's damage to the roof, or the windows are boarded up. Those are all good signs that you are in the right ballpark. There might be a deal there. And then another method would be bandit signs. Now, I've done both of these. I think bandit signs is literally my least favorite one of all time to do. One, because like a lot of communities just generally frown on bandit signs in general. When I say bandit signs, I mean those we buy houses signs you see in communities all the time, or you see them like on tape and they post it to like a telephone pole, something like that. So yeah, putting up bandit signs, it's not fun. You do it in the cloak of darkness because you're embarrassed a lot of times. It can get deals. I've heard great things about it. It can. My first coach actually taught me to use bandit signs. You got to pick your community wisely. You got to make sure you're not breaking any laws or anything like that, and you got to make sure that it's okay with the HOAs. But if all those things are okay, it's okay to put a bandit sign out, then by all means do that. Just know that you have to wait. You have to put it out there and just expect good results and kind of keep it moving. So it may or may not happen for you immediately. It might take some time. But the longer they sit out there, the more people see it. And the more people see it, the more they call you. I had a couple of good investor leads come through bandit signs. Not actually homeowner leads, but a couple good investor leads come through bandit signs. Networking can be a good way to find a lead on a deal, a lead on a deal, rather. It's kind of hit or miss. If you talk to enough people, you may or may not find one talking to another investor. Sometimes people have properties they want to get rid of for whatever reason. There are paid lead sources. I'm going to dive into this one probably in an upcoming video. Paid leads, fantastic. But that's more for like investors who are like what I used to be like a wholesaler, somebody who's a deal finder, go out there and find deals, and you just buy enough of those type of leads and you call enough of those type of sellers and you can find a good deal in there somewhere. The only thing about that is like the leads can cost anywhere from $35 all the way to a couple $100 per lead, and the close ratio on those type of leads like that is like anywhere from 30 to 40 leads. It might take 30 to 40 if you're an amateur. The better you get, you might get down to like 12 or under 12 if you get really, really dialed in. But the method I would suggest for somebody who's a beginner real estate agent, or investor rather, is working with real estate agents. I recommend it for a couple different reasons. One, the biggest one is that it's a free lead. It doesn't cost you any money. And another big reason, they are easy to find. You go on the MLS, you go on Zillow, you go realtor.com, any major real estate website, Trulia, all these websites, you'll find free leads for real estate deals. And you can just have at it. You can make those calls, you can reach out to real estate agents. And you want to be very, very particular when you're talking to real estate agents as a real estate investor. And you want to make sure they know that you're looking for a long-term relationship. But I'll dive into that a little bit later, maybe in another video. But the way you talk to a real estate agent, the way you set that conversation up is extremely critically important. We'll come back to that in a future video. But the reason why you want to reach out to agents is 1, they're easy to find. 2, those leads are free. They don't cost you any dollars. The only real major downside that I would say will come with working with a real estate agent or trying to work with real estate agents is, for whatever reason, I have no idea. I mean, they're in sales. You know, you would think that people who are in sales or work off commission would answer the phones, but for whatever reason, sometimes they don't. I don't know why. I don't get it. I never understood. I've talked to other guys. I have no idea why that is, but it's a common thing. So getting a hold of them can sometimes be challenging. But the cool thing is their information's everywhere. I mean, they want to be found. You'll find them on usually their listing, or if you can't find it on the listing for whatever reason, you can track it down and find the agents or the brokers they work for, and you can dive in and get their number from that source as well. But at the end of the day, they're really easy to find. You find name and phone number. So that's why I recommend, for anybody who's just beginning to get into real estate investing, definitely 100% pursue working with real estate agents. Now, what I do want to talk about is using that extreme leverage, because business is a system of systems. You know, if you're getting into this and you want to find the best of the best deals for yourself, and working with agents is the way to go for you, then you want to implement leverage. Absolutely. Someone say leverage. Somebody type leverage in the comment section. Leverage is powerful. And the best way to get leverage is using a CRM. What do I mean by CRM? I guess it stands for customer relationship management, I think. I never actually looked that up. I think, don't quote me on that. I think it means customer relationship manager. But at the end of the day, it's a database, right? It's a database, and it can aggregate all the data that you have. You don't have to keep, I used to do this when I was first getting started. I used to try to keep all the information for all the different deals I was working on in my head. Terrible idea. Do not do that. Do not do that. You will absolutely mess things up, get the numbers wrong, and that could come back to bite you in a big way. You want to make sure you know exactly who you're talking to, when you talked to them last, and what you talked about. And the only way to really do that effectively and efficiently is a CRM. Now, there's a lot of different CRMs out there. I think the last major one I used before I switched over to go high level was Investor Views. Fantastic site, fantastic CRM, has a lot of cool things like automations and follow-up sequences, which means like it will actually follow up with you with your leads in there. It gets you through emails, text messages. But I've never seen. I also tried Podio. I did try Podio. I had a Podio setup. That was my first CRM that I'd ever used for real estate. It's a good system, but it's not designed it's not designed for working with agents or anything like that. There's no real automation you can plug into it. Like automations is where it's at. And that's where I'm going today with this conversation. You want to be able to use powerful automations. So what is an automation? Automation simply means like a system that's going to work in the background of your life. You design it, you set it up, and you set it and forget it. And all you gotta do is just plug leads into there, and it will spit out deals for you. That's what you want. That's the kind of life you want. You don't want to be hounding people on the phones, especially agents, following up, having to figure out who you talk to about what and all this other stuff. No. You want to set this thing up in the system and let the system do the work for you. And I'm going to show you just a brief example of that. I'm going to let you see my screen here, and we're going to dive into my system that I set up. And I will actually be letting anybody who wants to be one of my students, who wants to work with me, they'll be getting the system for free. So let's dive into it and take a look at it. All right, so we are inside of my Go High Level system here, and here's one of my test leads. So from here, we can see that it's in a pipeline. So the cool thing about having a pipeline set up, and you can customize it however you want, but I've got mine set up in a particular way so I can follow the sequence of events and make sure I know exactly where I am in the conversation with that particular seller. So let's say I like this house and I want to make an offer on it, and this is the particular seller, like new test. Let's say that's an actual seller or agent that I'm working with to get that deal. Then I can follow it all the way along from send offer to offer sent to offer accepted, and then from property inspection and all that kind of stuff, send a title and all that. But it will go through the pipeline and will keep track of that information, so I don't have to hold it within my head, and I can absolutely know where I am in the deal pipeline with any particular seller. or agent that I'm working with. So let's see here. Now this system that I have set up, I can actually, the cool thing about it is I've designed it so that you can just enter in the property address, information, proper offer price, earnest money deposit, all that information. Once you have all that information entered in, then you can absolutely send out, not just enter the information in and keep track of it, but it will actually create an offer, a purchase agreement, and send it off automatically to the agent, and then follow up with them systematically, consistently. We're going to dive into that in a second here. So let's just dive into it. Let's just say the address is 123 Main Street. Let's say it's in let's go make it a city. And let's say they're asking $75,000. And I'm only offering them, let's say I want to get aggressive and offer them 55. We're going to do a $1,000 earnest money deposit. So the cash to close will be $54,000. And you can always put in a little extra information. Like I said, this is completely customizable. And you have a note section or wherever you want. Let's say we're offering on a duplex. And let's say they're very motivated because of financial issues, for example. And they want to sell soon. We'll say 1 to 3 months. All right. So I think that's all the information that needs to be filled out. And the seller's name is New Test. Oh, I'm sorry. We have to make up a seller name here. Say Julius Segal. Julius Segal. Selling his house today, guys. All right, let's update that lead now. All right, so that lead is updated. We got all the information in there. Is the information, name, seller's name, property price, and all that good stuff. All right, so the way I have it set up through automations is that if I slide this seller with all that information in over here to send offer, it's going to automatically send that information over to the agent. Let's make sure everything's filled out. Yep. All right, so let's do that. Fingers crossed. Now, what should be happening in the background is this seller, like I said, the agent information should be placing the purchase agreement, and the seller information should be placing the purchase agreement, and the purchase price and all that good stuff. And the offer should be sent. Oh, there it is. Got moved over. Offer has been sent. Now we can dive in and take a look here and make sure everything looks good. Let's look at this contact. All right. Now this is actually following up with the agent. Says we just send an offer to your purchase to your inbox. The property address is 123 Main Street, and go ahead and put my name and contact information or whatever, my business name in there. All right, so that's perfect. All right, so this is the document that was sent out. So I'm going to download the document so you can take a look at it. All right, let's give that a second. All right, so let's download the purchase agreement to the desktop here. Save. All right, and as you can see, everything is filled out perfectly. Julius Segal, 123 Main Street, Tuskegee, Maine, 12345, $55,000 purchase price, $1,000 for the earnest money deposit, $54,000 for this mock example. But the cool thing is that if we go into the actual automation, you can see all the cool follow-up we have that we can do. Like for example, now this is just an example, but after 1 minute, it will send an email out and just follow up on the offer, and then it will wait. Let's see here, wait 1 day, and then it'll soon do another follow up via text and email. It'll plug in the actual name of the agent who we're talking about. So it'll say, hello, John Smith, or whatever, or the first name is hello, John. Wanted to follow up on the offer I made on your property at blah, blah, blah address. Thanks for the help. Have a good one. And it will actually, I have it programmed to do a text message as well. Hello, John. Did your seller have a chance to look at the offer? And so on and so forth. And I've got this one to be, it's it's not as aggressive as it could be, but keep in mind, I can make this as aggressive as I want. I can follow up with them for 1, 2, 3, 4 months out, 6 months out. But the cool thing about real estate is that motivation changes. So just because a seller doesn't want to sell right now for your particular price doesn't mean that their motivation won't change in 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 months. So keep in mind, like the more of these offers you put out there, and the more consistently you follow up, the more deals you will get, the better the deals you will get. I have an example of a deal I was working on in Cleveland, Ohio, where I initially reached out to the seller, I want to say like in January or something like that, and my system followed up with him for maybe 6 months or so, and by June or July, he was just fed up with the property. His motivation changed. His health changed. He was just fed up. His relationship was declining with his tenants, and it's just life is just shifted. So my offer that he kind of rebuffed or kind of put off on the back burner initially, 6 months later, it became a great offer. So think of your offers as like seeds. They might not germinate and sprout up immediately, but over time, the more seeds you have, the better the deals you'll get. And you can do this all in the background of your life. So as you can see, working with real estate agents can be completely passive. It doesn't have to be this labor-intensive activity. Here's the sequence of it. You run your numbers, you find a number that works for that particular property, and then you plug that information to your CRM, have the CRM send out to the agent your offer, whatever that may be. And that way you don't have to stress out about it. You don't have to be embarrassed about it. You can make the number whatever it needs to be. You're not making that number you're not making pick up the phone call and giving this lowball offer as they say, but you're giving them an offer that works for that particular property, which works for you, and you just follow up and follow up and follow up and let your system do all the hard work of following up on your behalf. And then 2-3 months later, you might have a fantastic deal that you never would have gotten, because a lot of your competition, they will give up and quit. If they don't get the right answer within a week or two, they're on to the next deal. But if you can be consistent, you can beat out, I would say 80 to 90% of your competition just by being persistent. And you don't personally have to be persistent. Your system's going to be persistent, and it is relentless. Set up a absolutely relentless system, and you'll get relentless, amazing deals. So if you would like to learn more about my 3-in-1 real estate system, you can check it out at the link below. Thank you so much for joining me today. Looking forward to talking to you soon. Bye-bye.